The update for day 57, Tuesday, June 15, 2010, of the Obama Gulf disaster. President Obama will address the nation tonight around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on his oil disaster, but before his Wednesday meeting with BP officials, but at least after the deadline for a BP response to the government's requested long-term plan. Again, the speech before the meeting. The boom manufactured by PacGen in Maine supposedly did not pass an initial quality control test. Last Friday, BP was back. I haven't seen any report as to whether they've reevaluated. According to BP, the boom is subjected to great wear and tear when placed in the water and must be frequently tended. In order to retain its effectiveness, the boom must be of high quality. Once PacGen's boom passes inspection, the company can be considered as a source for supplying the boom. Canadian boom is being sent down. That's an understanding that I have from a report. The two Maine senators have written, I don't know what information they had, they've written to the Coast Guard last week, or actually 3 weeks ago, trying to push for this boom. So that story is to be concluded. It's still ongoing. The Obama administration suddenly has discovered the virtues of foreign assistance in the Gulf, notwithstanding the Jones Act, but we still haven't heard whether they've suspended it or not. As I said, boom from Canada, and they were asking for help from the EU. Congress today accused all oil companies of not being prepared for deep water drilling accidents. I agree with that from everything that I've read. But then again, it was permitted because we did not have shallow drilling available because of environmental concerns. So companies, including BP, were pushed out into the deep water, but the government didn't do their job in verifying that their reports on how they were going to do, how they were going to cover accidents, recover from accidents, environmental concerns, etc., was not correctly reviewed, I should say, because my understanding from a report, it was reviewed, but the indication of the data that was in the report is that people, in one case, a gentleman who was a professor had been dead for 4 years. He was cited, and also mammals that are not in those waters were cited. So as Governor Palin said, it looks like it was a ripoff of what was written up for Alaska, not properly amended. BP has apparently cut corners with considering finance over safety, according to Congress. I don't necessarily disagree, but then again, the federal regulations allowed it. As I suggested before, the blowout preventer valve in this instance had minimal capacity. That saved the company supposedly $500,000. BP is placing sensors in the well to determine the flow, since everyone seems to disagree on what the actual flow has been. BP is installing 6 sensors versus the 21 recommended according to Fox News. One does wonder if they will get the correct readings with 6 sensors, since I can imagine they are not in laminar flow. That's a flow area where the flow is smoother and constant, so that your instrumentation does not vary greatly. The more sensors, the better the average reading. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this. Until the next update on day 58, take care and be safe.